Hey, this is Pam Perry, and it is July. It is a special show, and this show is brought to you by Branding Accelerator.
Pam Perry, veteran PR strategist, Emmy award-winning producer and publisher of Speakers Magazine.
I know that you probably have a message that you want to reach the masses, and you've been doing it for a long time. It's just like, I just need that big break. Enter in the Branding Accelerator program, where we bring to you 10 key experts that will give you access to their brain and to their resources so that you can accelerate.
I know that in order to really grow my influence and my impact, I've got to get on media. I've got to be seen. So I've had other publicists that have worked with me in the past. But Pam doesn't just focus on where you are right now. She focuses on where you're going and what publicity, what media is in alignment with that.
Well, Branding Accelerator program is on the wait list right now, but we have a room that'll be coming up in the fall. So this program is a special program for Speakers Magazine, because what I love to do is to make sure that speakers get out there and get known. And I'd like to introduce you to some of my favorite speakers that have been in Speakers Magazine. One in particular I'm going to have today is Precious Killer Pitch Master Williams, right? And here she is right here. She was in the issue. So let me just read you a little bit about her, because she was in the issue for Speakers Magazine. She delivers killer pitches, okay? And have you ever met a full-figure diva who has taken the business world by storm and won big? Well, now you have. Precious L. Williams, also affectionately known as Killer Pitch Master, can help you slay all competition with her killer elevator pitches, media pitches, and investor pitches. So she does it all. Precious is a world-class master communicator who works with successful entrepreneurs and speakers. That's why we have her today, and helps them take their professional pitching and speaking skills to the next level. She's had over 25 years experience in creating unique speaking and public speaking techniques. Williams is also known for her innovative training programs, and she does such services for clients such as Google, Microsoft, and LinkedIn. As a 13-time, yes, I said that, probably more now, National Business Elevator Pitch Champion, Williams has been on top television shows and publications for her pitching, branding, professional speaking skills, and she was featured in season 8 of ABC's, we all know it, Shark Tank. She's been in Forbes Magazine, CNN, ABC, MSNBC, Wall Street Journal, and the movie Leap, as well as other publications around the world, including Speakers Magazine. Last year, she became a best-selling author of the #1 best-selling business book, Bad Bitches with Power Pitches, and for women entrepreneurs and speakers only. The philosophy of her killer pitch is evident in the strategic and personalized creative communications and presentations solutions Williams puts forth. Williams is a graduate of the HBCU, Spelman College, and also Rutgers Law School. She currently lives in Brooklyn, New York. To learn more about her, you're going to actually hear her come forward. Precious L. Williams. Yay!
Hey!
Sound effects. I wish I had some sound effects right here, but this
you know what to come through,
I know. Well, welcome. It has been a year or so, I think, roughly about, well, you know what? I'm thinking it's been probably almost a year that we've had a talk, because it was right at the beginning of the Rona. And
right.
So how have things been going since then? Has it been good, bad? Have you made the pivot? Did you do the transition? What's different? What's new? I kind of like it.
That's a lot of it. So things have been really, really well, like just amazing. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all, you know, when they were talking about the Rona, the virus, the economic downturn and social unrest,
And you
people
were
are
in New
saying,
York.
I'm in New York, so they won't hire consultants, they won't hire speakers, and all of my physical speaking engagements last year were canceled. My last speaking engagement in 2020 was at the International Women's Day, and I was in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I'm in another country, being the keynote speaker, so I was like, oh yeah, it'll probably be around for 2 weeks. All my speaking engagements got canceled, so you know that fear that comes up. Ready to return all this money?
Yes.
And ain't nobody hiring. Is that what the people are saying? They're not hired. Oh wow! And so when I heard all of that, I had to shut all of that out and just say, I'm the killer pitch master. And so where others will struggle and say what can't be done, it's gonna happen. You know, me and God, we had to have that conversation. He said a lot of people look at this as a detriment. This is your opportunity to really show up and show out. And so being able to have LinkedIn as my biggest corporate client, I'm still shocked by that. I'm still shocked that I was able to get into some of the biggest companies, the Intuit, QuickBooks, Federal Reserve Bank, all of these places, the Googles, the Microsofts. And think about this, I'm not in tech, but they need help with sales pitching, sales training, communication skills, boundaries, all that kind of stuff. And I decided that, you know, even though I don't like the word pivot because it's used too much, what I had to do was the energy that I bring live, I had to dial it down for Zoom and for Blue Jeans and for Microsoft Teams, and just come in with the funk, the energy, and the noise, and they loved it. They're tired of the speakers that people are looking at this while the speakers are speaking. They're like, I'm not trying to hear this. I'm just showing up because they're making me, and turning it into a full presentation that, you know, I'm interactive. I'm not a lecturer, and so, you know, being able to demonstrate my brilliance live, or they can go on my YouTube page, or, you know, my speaker one, my media kit. And so I had everything that they needed, and I was able to make that change to virtual. And then, you know, towards the end of last year, people were like, well, we may come back physical next year. I'm booked out until May of 2022. So I love that. And these are physical speaking engagements. And so, yes, I still have virtual. Yes, my physical ones, I was in Indiana for almost a week at the Indiana Small Business Expo, did press, was on their television, local television. I was in the newspapers, and people did meets and greets and book sales. I mean, in the midst of all of this, Queen, finally created merch. Finally, you know.
Oh, that's so cute.
I mean,
Let me see it again. I love that.
Well, you know, I'm having a conference coming up in March called Pitch Please.
That is so cute. You know, I love Brandon. Yes.
And you see in the background, you see my pillow, Pitch Please. You see it in the background, Queen. It's in the background. And so there's a pillow in the background.
I do see it.
And I have bags, I have and so these are the things I was able to do. So in the times that I wasn't teaching and training, I was, you know, getting merch together, creating a pitch event that's unlike any other. Working with brands.
What are the things you did? The MasterCard?
I did a MasterCard. Girl, sorry. So yes, I was featured in the MasterCard priceless ad.
That happened to come. Yeah.
That was amazing. And that's the power of your network too, right? And so I was selected as WE, which is a Women's Entrepreneur NYC, which means I'm helping the next generation of women entrepreneurs. I was also selected by the mayor's office to be an inaugural mentor in BE NYC, which is Black Entrepreneurs NYC. And that opened doors to so much. So the MasterCard that came through, they were like, oh, Precious, she's certified. And they're like, so is she? They're like, she's passionate, and she's gonna make you laugh, and she's a ball of energy. And so doing that commercial and looking at that commercial, looking at the ads that came behind it when it aired and stuff like that, that was amazing. Putting out my third book, Pitching for Profit, The Bad Bitches Playbook to Convert Conversation to Currency, having this reviewed by Forbes magazine and my billboard in Times Square. I mean, the things that people said couldn't be done, I was able to do. And it comes to, and when I think of you, Pam, it's like you're teaching us how to do it, right? You're teaching us how. Like, it's not just this, you know, you do it, you send out something one time. It's like, no, persistence beats resistance all day, every day.
All day. You are the resilient, and you're the resilient queen, because you had a previous business that was pretty bold.
You know this.
Curvy. Okay, let me get it. It was
lingerie.
Curvy girl lingerie. And that was just bold coming in there with that anyway. And I was like, well, what? And you came through with that, and you showed people what couldn't be done could be done all day, every day. And what I like about you, Precious, is you take that and you put it towards everything. Law school. That ain't that easy. And during the period of time,
went through my mind. We said law school. I was like, ooh, yes.
I mean, that's not, you know what I'm saying? And then there's other things in your life that you had to overcome, and the mindset to overcome it and not stay stuck there, and then to win scholarships to schools, not just going to the school, but scholarships to the school.
Full ones, Queen. Full scholarships.
Full scholarships. Okay. And this is a person that people kind of thought like, she's raised by her grandma, and, she'll be doing good if she just graduated from high school. No, not Precious. It was just like, it was in your name. It's like, no, watch this precious young lady do this thing. And so when you were on Shark Tank, people tell me, I love hearing the story about how you came on Shark Tank in that bright yellow dress.
Canary yellow peplum dress.
Yes.
With an afro and extreme makeup. I wasn't playing. And so, I'd already had clients who succeeded on Shark Tank. And people can't keep their mouth shut. You would tell them keep it. But they're not, because they're your clients, right? And eventually, they asked me, to do a private audition. So, I did it. I came through. I was ready. And child, when I tell you, working with their producers, flying out to LAX, being picked up and taken to Culver City, California, going to my hotel room, collecting my per diem, then being taken to Sony Picture Studios, and just being like it is truly a dream. But they're going to hit you with some stuff on reality television. I'm just going to tell you, they're going to hit you with some stuff. And so they did something that was so funny to me. They probably don't do it anymore, but when you get in there and, all these people are around you, all these people who were selecting, they tell you, half y'all going home. I know they're not talking to me. I done told people. I didn't tell people. Oh no, we're gonna
win it. Right.
And then they said, "Killer Pitchmaster, you're up first." I'm telling you, there was nothing in my brain. Nothing. That's how scared I was. I was like, "Oh my god!" But I pitched, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, you're staying." The hell, I'm not. Like, what you mean? I'm staying. I'm like, even if I got to stand outside, please take me. Please take. I can't go back home because people don't think I told a story. But anyway. So when the day came, so I flew out September 11th. My taping date was September 15th, 2016. And I remember getting over there. My former business coach was with me, which I thought was so wonderful that she flew out with me. I was still filming Leap with Sir Richard Branson and Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup. There was so much happening. And in that moment, when we got to the set, and I realized, there's different sets for Shark Tank. That's cute. But when they said, "Are you ready?" I'm with my full figure divas, plus size fashionistas.
There you go.
You ready? That first door opened, and I'm waiting for the music because I'm like, Jay, y'all, there was no music. I said, so now I got to walk cool. But low cut canary yellow peplum dress, my full figure divas. You know how that was being. I'm walking, that second door opens. I see the sharks. I'm like, oh, it's about to go down. Stand on my X. The sharks are looking at me, and I'm like, here we go. Action. And I'm going hard in the paint. And they're just looking like, just amazed.
And when David John was like,
I know, and Robert Hershey said to me, watching you is like watching a master at their craft. Pam, I was for real. I'm like, I really wanted to, can we cut black chick? He said that, me, whatever. And then when I said, okay, ladies, now let's get in formation. When the door opened, my full figure divas came out. They was looking scrumptious. Did you hear me though? Listen, I'm tailor-made for television. Mark Cuban said, "You go, girl." And I was like, you about to see it real and raw now. And then the question started, but I could tell they were taken aback, like, okay, she is not afraid. And I'm like, I'm a 13-time national elevator pitch champion. No one in my heart, there's nothing they can't ask me that I haven't been asked. And so I was ready. I wanted to prove that Black women, Black men, people of color, this is time. I'm not gonna be made to look stupid. And so when it was all over, said and done, all I could do was cry. And the producer was like, "Why are you crying?" I was like, I didn't look stupid. I didn't look dumb. and they were, I guess to them they were like, we didn't expect you to, but maybe, okay, maybe we could try something, but and I was like, no, you don't know what that means to me. I'm from the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri. I've always been counted out, told I wasn't going to do this and that. People told me I'm the killer pitch master. I'm never going to be on Shark Tank. And I just did it. And when they did the home visit, it was just like amazing. And so when I look back on that Shark Tank experience, the greatest lesson I learned is you truly have to believe in yourself, no matter what anybody says. No matter where you come from, if you're coming from the other side of the tracks, if you don't sound like everybody on TV, you're not built like everybody else, you can still make it, because my perceived flaws, the curvy body, the loudness, the accent, that's what made me stand out, and that's what they were looking for. And so that's part of pitching, is showing up in a way they're not expecting and totally dominating and slaying all competition.
Yeah, and making people, like you said, you're not trying to be like vanilla.
Oh, no.
You're different. You're going to be different all the time. So all the time. So we're talking with Precious L. Williams, who is the killer pitch master. Perfect Pitches by Precious.com. You can get her books there. I say books because now it's plural. It's her books
We
there.
got 3.
We got 3 books there. And also, too, you can book her to speak. Because if you have an organization that needs some motivation, sales training, those are the things. Or if you're a speaker and want to learn how to pitch better. And so when I say pitch better, I work with speakers all the time that have to pitch themselves to the media. And so Precious was one of the speakers in my Ready, Set, Go speak. They were fanning. They were so fanning. They had their books. They were fan. They were like, but she spoke to them privately about how to pitch. And then she actually worked with some of them privately alone as well, helping them craft their pitches as well. And she's just really fabulous at what she does. And one of the main things that she does is that she listens, and she listens with a different type of ear. Explain to people how you hear things, because it was real different when you were telling me about the poetry and how you hear things. And when someone explains to you, you can then turn around and tell them a kind of a way to pitch. So give them a little bit of that.
Right. So, I hear what everybody else hears, but I also hear what's not being said. And that comes from 26 years of professional speaking excellence. And so when people are talking to me, people always want to show up as a representative. Everything's popping. I'm going to hear what's not working. I'm going to hear it. And it's going to come out in your body language. It's going to come out in the things that you say. So this is a way that I always know who's real and who's perpetrating. I can always tell who they are, right? And so I can hear insecurity, even if they show up Fendi Gucci'd out, Birkin bag, and I can see through all of that, and I can really hear what they need versus what they think they need, right? So a lot of people are like, "Oh, I just need the attention." What have you put out to get that attention? You're asking for more visibility. What do you have for your target market? What do you have for them? Are you even speaking to the market that needs you, right? So everybody, I want the high net worth. I want this and that. Maybe there's another place you need to be that's an easier sell. And if you get really good in this place, they will come. And can we keep it a buck? I didn't start off with LinkedIn, Google, and Microsoft. I didn't start off. I spoke at Harvard University this year, and when I tell you, tears fell from my eyes because people told me, I even take it back. Let me tell you how far back in time. The day after my prom, May 2nd, 1997, May 3rd, 6 a.m. I was at the Mayor Freeman Bosley's office, and we were being interviewed by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. I had on a Harvard sweatshirt, knowing I'm going to Spelman. Can we keep it a buck? So when they came this year off of LinkedIn, like we were looking, and you kept popping up. And so when they selected me, tears fell from my eyes because they always said you didn't have an Ivy League degree, you're too fat, and you're too black. Well, I spoke at Harvard, and they came to me. I didn't start off by having those big clients. I started off by working with individuals who needed to pitch at competitions, whether they were service-based, product-based, or whatever. They needed to shine. And they would go on Google, and they would go in these places, and they sounded dry and boring. I said, if you do it like that, no one's going to pay attention to you. I promise you. You want to show up and show out. So I'm not going to focus on your weaknesses. I'm going to focus on your strengths. I'm going to hear things that you don't think matter that need to be in your pitch. You want to show up and show out, but you also want to show that everything that everybody says about you is really wrong. And those are the things that is going to really propel you forward. Yeah. So when I was 327 pounds hitting that stage, you would have thought I was straight Beyonce. I walked out like Beyonce. And again, for those of you who are listening, who are introverts, you can truly, honestly be the quiet storm. You make people, you draw people to you. Me, I'm gonna go at you. So I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna come through. But the thing is, when you're hearing what people are not saying, you're gonna hear the insecurity, you're gonna hear the fear, worry, and doubt, and you're also going to hear something like, I don't even think it's possible. I need someone to believe in me, and I do. So when I start off with my pitch clients who all won their competitions, what do you think they did? Kept talking. And then I went through this metamorphosis where in the midst of a pandemic, I said, I need to focus on corporations. What do people say? Oh, they're not going to hire. Yes, they did, because I didn't come with the same old. I don't talk about things that are not in my zone of genius. So yes, we can start with pitching, communication skills, visibility, marketing, and branding, which are still in my zones of genius. I'm just going to come at it from a different place. So if you don't create your own lane, everybody doesn't need to be a motivational speaker. Everybody doesn't need to be a transformational speaker.
How about that? Right?
Need to be. I am the killer pitch master. You don't hire me to do what Les Brown does, or Lisa Nichols, or Tony. You don't hire me for that. Yeah. What you hire me for is to go in and show you how to slay all competition. So if you want to be the biggest companies in the world, you can do it, and you have fire behind you. You got credentials. Who is it? Which testimonials looking like? Do you hear me though? So my biggest thing is I'm gonna work with your strengths. I'm not concerned about your weaknesses. And I'm gonna take everything that people said is wrong with you, and I'm gonna show you how to make it right before investors, before media, before networking groups, in interviews, and how to really put yourself out there so your difference is truly celebrated. It is not just a nice to have. No, you're a necessary. And so that's what I do very well.
I love that. And so one of the things that I saw that you did with the branding that you do, like most people will have their name.com, but you have perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. That is like your brand. You do it, that you're unapologetic about it. That's your lane of genius. And I think that when you said when you first started, you didn't start speaking with, working with the large Fortune 500 companies, but you started working with the individuals. But you also, I call that the lowest hanging fruit. And sometimes that people want to be these speakers and they want to do these things, and they see that down the road, and then they get frustrated, and then along the way they're like missing the lowest hanging fruit. So I had a conversation with someone today, and I looked at their background. I said, we do a SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weaknesses.
Right, definitely.
And threats. And I said, do you realize what your strengths are? I said, they are just like amazing. I mean, you can go to A, B, and C, and they will probably hire you as a visiting professor or adjunct, or, there's certain things because you're credentialed and you've been doing this. And this is a bastion of information and experience that no one else has other than you. And quit trying to be on somebody else's stage where they're first of all, their stage is not talking to your audience. And
keep it a buck.
I'm like, what? Why you want to be over there? You should be over here with your people. Be over here with your people, the ones that love you, celebrate you, understand you, get you. You solve their problems. They trust you because you've been there, done that in the area where they are. First, it's like trying to be in another area where they don't. You're so new. It's like trying to go to a foreign country and trying to speak a language and you don't know it. It's like, but speak the language you know and do well at that. So, like that's.
I love what you just said, because as a speaker, and I've been doing this for 26 years. What I started off with at 16 is very different from what I talk about at 42. My ways of speaking, my manners, all of this has changed over time. But you just said something really critically. You will always have people who will invite you to speak here, 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 and here. And it didn't occur to me until last year that if my audience isn't there, I don't need to be there.
Yes.
I just don't. So yes, there will be people who will come at you. Oh, this would be great for exposure. I'm not sure who you're speaking to, because I've had massive exposure. So if you don't do due diligence on my background, that's an automatic no. Secondly, Queen, and I gotta put it out there. I am not a coach. I'm a trainer and a teacher. So when people want to lump me in places, I'm like, I'm not there. So if this is all about just coaching, that's not my skill set. I'm a trainer and a teacher, and I love to do it. I am not the one who has to hold your hand all throughout the process. Again, segmenting. I am not working with startups. I work with successful entrepreneurs and speakers, meaning they've already had success in whatever realm they were in, and they are going higher versus people who come in new. And there are people who can help you with that, but people who come in new who think maybe 30 minutes or an hour or 10 hours with me, they'll know everything that I know. And it's like, that's 26 years. But if you already have success, you realize that there are processes, there are steps to this equation, and that a strategic plan must be put in place. If you're new, you just want to shoot all the way to the top. I get it. I wanted that too.
Yes,
so when you have people who
the
already have
systems and the processes,
it's a process. And so you will look at, how many people have said with you, I just want to be where you at. I just wanted to, no.
I've been doing what I'm doing 21
years. That's why I have that's why I have a publisher. That's why I have a book coach. There's certain things I cannot do. I can talk a good game. I can get out there and thug it out. When it came to writing these books, I'm not a fight person.
Yeah, it's a different it's someone who's either left brain or right brain, right? So you may be right brain on a lot of things, but then sometimes it's like that's kind of more left brain because I got to sit still in a cave and bang it out. And if you're very social and you draw on the energy from the audience, sitting there bang out in the cave writing is a whole situation.
It's stressful, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you've already had success, and this is when I'm saying to speakers who are no longer novices, just understand that there's still levels to this. How about this? What about when you're stable? You got clients, customers, your funnel is looking good, and you need to change it to something else, right? And so instead of working on individual clients, maybe you'll have 3 to 5 a year of individual, but your thing is mostly for corporate. And so now the language on your website has to change, which is why, Queen, I have killerpitchmaster.com. Who our young lady with Black Speakers Network, I'm drawing a blank on her name. I think her name is Danielle. So she created killerpitchmaster.com. And so that speaks more to companies and corporations versus Perfect Pitches by Precious, which gives you my digital products, my merchandise, all of that. But for corporations, they go there because that gives, you ain't got to do with all the fluff of that other stuff. It's, here I am, here's what I can do, here's places I've been, check me out, fill out this thing, and we can move forward. So they don't need all of that other stuff that Perfect Pitches does. And knowing that, it's just like, oh my goodness, there's so many levels. And just because you're successful here, you may want to go, you may want to go higher. And what got you here is not going to get you there. So who do you need to get you there? If you want to start working with the top people from the beginning, it's a harder road because you keep thinking you're going to be where they are in a year and you're not. So maybe you need to have the people who incrementally get you to where you need to go. And that's a better and an easier thing on your wallet, is when someone's 5 steps ahead of you versus they're already at the pinnacle, the top. They didn't ate everything, and So again, Queen, even with pitching, even with PR, even with media, even with investor pitching, all that kind of stuff, these things take time. And when you learn it, you can implement it, you can see the different changes you can make. And at the same time, you can finally scale, because as you scale, you get that team around you where everybody knows their thing. And all you got to do is show up, show out, and do what you need to do.
That is so good. One of the things I want you to, I just said, ready, set, go, speak. So I would like you to come back and speak to the new members of the group.
Yes.
There's some more that have come in there, and they really do need to one, you inspire people because of your story. I think people who realize, and you can go to her website and really kind of read her background and all that kind of thing as well. But the one thing is you give people confidence that they can do it. And, and the Ready, Set, Go, Speak, like I said, they were holding up their books, that they had their books and they got their work. They wanted to hear you speak some more. And it's just a community. Like it's a process for Ready, Set, Go, Speak. It is a process. It's a membership program. It's every month that they are part of this group, but it is a period of time where they're like mentored and nurtured and coached. But then I have someone like a trainer, which is different, that comes in and gives them like a laser focus, like this is how you do it. And then if you want to work further with her, then you go to her other website, which is this one here, Perfect Pitches by Precious. And then you can, buy the classes with her, learn how to do it. Because a lot of people just said, well, I just wish I could really get it, but you can read the books, you can do the workbook, but just sitting with her, I know Dr. Missy, when she sat with her, is a different kind of thing. And she did her pitch. She did her that. And then once you do that with you can go. It's so many pitch competitions. They can go into other pitch competitions all over.
Can we talk about grants? Can we talk about like pitching is so much more than a pitch competition. It's so much more than what you say to the media. It's so much more than what you say at networking events. What goes in your grant applications to fund your business, your 5,000, 10,000? That's still a pitch. And people forget that it is. So when they see me just getting this, I got this Hennessy grant, I was a finalist for the Supernova grant. This is a pitch. And so when you expand your mind on what pitching is, that's why I love Ready, Set, Go, Speak. Think about that. Ready, set. That's steps in. You don't just get out there and just start speaking.
No, it is
definitely
steps. It's like steps on each one.
Steps and a circle on the side. Do you hear me? So when you think about it, when you're filling out grant applications, when you're at networking events and you have no idea what to say and everything you hear is womp, 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 I want you to come out hard. I want you to come out hard, because when you come with that passion, that energy and intensity, even if you are an introvert and you draw them to you, you want to be unforgettable. So even if they can't think it, man, I need to check out that. I need to check out that woman's products or services, because she made such an impression. And I feel like her energy is what I need, or I feel like she really knows. She's not trying to, sell me on something that she doesn't know, or she's regurgitating what the gurus say. I don't have to go regurgitate. I don't have to, and I don't call myself a guru, but I don't have to regurgitate the same things 50 million times every year. I love being able to be a speaker and being able to talk about different topics in the speaking realm. Hashtag speaker tales, hashtag rock the mic, hashtag all of these, hashtag
slay the competition.
Being able to do that is amazing versus hearing the same things over and over and over again, which works great to a certain time because you got to establish your name. But after that, when people start asking you for things that are in your wheelhouse, it forces you to come up and rise up. And so at the end of the day, I love Ready, Set, Go, Speak. I love you, Pam. And the thing that is not being addressed right now is who's in your network. If Pam didn't even know who I would, listen, there are many speakers in the world that will never hit the big leagues. But if you are known by the right people, you don't have to have everybody know you. You really don't. I promise you don't. If you have corporations that keep passing you around like, hey, I don't have to be at everything. And you can also walk away when people don't think you can, or they tell you this is all they're going to do. But if you are known by the right, you don't have to be everywhere, people. I promise you, you don't. And that was one of my problems, is thinking I had to be everywhere. I don't. And then when you take a step back, you become more exclusive. And then the deals are so much different.
I love that.
For your race, you say, "Oh, talk to her. Like, talk to an agent. Da, da, da. You ain't got to worry about that. I'm not answering questions. I feel like Northwest. No pictures, please. No pictures."
So Daryl Jacobs said, P. Willie in the building.
P. Willie. P. Willie. P. Willie.
P. Willie in the building.
I got the name for my line sister.
Rhonda Williams, she said slay. Joanne McCall, she said the quiet storm. She says, I love that. The Jacqueline Jack, she's over there in LinkedIn. She says that is the winning formula. She was talking about that. Good. She said it's strategic, really talking about being strategic. Diamond Greer, she is in there. Linda Gray, nonprofit consultant. I mean, everybody in every situation needs to learn how to pitch, how to slay the competition, and how to say it succinctly, with brevity, with energy, with your own secret sauce or your own fire. And it only takes like someone to really just sit with you and train with you and really help you get it. And so the way you do anything is really by practice, but then you also want to make sure that you practice correctly, because like the first time I learned golf, You can learn golf on your own, and you can do it, and then eventually, you know, you realize like, why aren't I any good? I keep practicing, but you've been practicing wrong. That is like the wrong way to swing. That is not how you do it. You should have learned from a professional or from a trainer
Drop that
and learn
T.
how to
Drop that
golf
T.
correctly. And so now you've got the same errors, but you keep practicing the same errors and you never get better. So I just say from the beginning, have a trainer, have an expert, have someone
You're
show
right
you
one.
exactly what to do. Then you practice that, because if you don't, you're practicing the wrong thing and you get frustrated. So yeah, that's my thing. I just want people to understand, to go to your website, to get your book, engage you for your pitches. And like you said, it's not just a pitch competition for business, but it can be a pitch for everything. Is a pitch. Everything is a pitch, you know, with ideas, grants. The MasterCard thing, I want to just say that was just so cute. They came to your place, you were doing it. I was just like so excited for you. You were on national TV, and I just was like, look at this. This was like coming out of the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Did they have masks on? Yeah, I think they had to wear masks.
Well, we actually had to be tested every day because we had to make sure
That's
that we didn't have corona. Now I'm vaccinated, but yeah, you couldn't even go on set if you were not. If they thought you had it, like in New York, you have to have the 3-day thing.
Mhm.
So every day they had us testing, and then when we would come back that night, they would get it. But the thing that I loved about it, I'm so glad you brought up MasterCard. Every time I look at it, which means I get emotional, so I try not to look at it too much. Every time I look at it, I remember when I walked in on the set and one of my clients was there. One of my clients was in the same thing with me, and I did not even know it. And she told the director of everything, she said, if you think I'm good, you haven't seen Precious. And they were like,
Wow.
and they were like,
That is so
whatever.
cool.
And then when they said action, I was like, give it to me. And when I was going in, they were like, you don't even need multiple takes. I said, no, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Because I've been in media since as long as I've 16 years old. I've been doing this. I said, so I get bird of butterflies, but I want to bring my A game. And another thing, Pam, about you is you can practice with the same type people all day long, but until you go up and go higher against someone who is not at your level, you will rise up. But if y'all with the same people that you've been hanging with last year and y'all still all in the same place, up your game. Get out of that network or supplement that network with a higher network. I don't go to $25 and $30 events. I just don't. Right? I'm not fighting for crumbs. And this is no disrespect to anybody else, but the heavy hitters are elsewhere. And I'm willing to pay and invest to get there. Right? And so I'm willing to. I didn't always have the coins, but as I started stepping up, I realized the networks have to change. Ready, set, go, speak. You need to be in certain places. But if you wanna just do whatever we do, what all the homies are doing, that's cute. But when you start your network and you rebuild your network with the right people, you're gonna see that they're gonna challenge you, and they'll be like, "Oh, that was cute. What's next?"
That is so true. I am a firm believer in that, and I've always a girl from Detroit on the east side, could have been sitting there on the porch still today, but you got to challenge yourself to get going. And my daughter has that kind of thing, like, I'm going to travel by myself. And she looked at me and thought I was going to say, oh no, don't do that. I was like, good, you need to. That's how you're going to meet someone. I said, because when you travel by yourself to events and conferences, you don't have to be with anyone that's going to say, like,
I'm scared. Let's not do this.
Yeah, that's not who you are. Don't do that. You're normally not like this. Well, when you go somewhere by yourself, you can be whoever you want to be. So you just go, boo, and you go to that event by yourself, and you're going to force yourself to come out of your comfort zone. And so she thought I was going to like hold her back from going to some event out the city, out the state. And I was like, no, you can go to that event. And that's how you're going to learn who your true self is. Because if you're always around snap, crackle, and pop, they ain't doing nothing for you, but just like, being your little cheer squad. But you want someone that's going to like push you and challenge you and make you see a different way about yourself. And that's so important. I always say that. I said, you need to get away from people that are going nowhere doing nothing. Get away from people
Don't
going.
play the game about what you're capable of. Goodbye.
Yeah,
I left St. Louis at 18 years old, Queen. I knew that there had to be more to life than St. Louis, Missouri, and Atlanta, New York, North Carolina, Iowa. Oh, whoa! Everybody ain't the same. All right, I'm with all that.
yes. And so we're, they always say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I think that's very true. Because I'm telling you, New York is like the number one media market. And it's like, listen. And so I have clients that are in New York and they're trying to get in media. I said, it's a little bit different for you because you're in the major media market. I said, it's not like you're in Durham, North Carolina, where you're trying to get on the ABC affiliate. Your ABC affiliate in New York is like the number one ABC affiliate in the country.
Can we keep it a buck?
So yeah, so it's the whole thing, but you got to get the pitch together. So that's when you got to get Precious. All right. So yeah, that is it. I just really just love you and adore you. She was in Speakers Magazine. You will have to just really
Queen. Can I show you something?
To show that she has different hairstyles.
So you know how I see what you're showing them? Don't look at the apartment. What's that over there?
I don't know. Oh yeah, I see it. It's on the wall. Oh my God, I love it.
Don't be looking at my stuff in the background. Y'all know the life of a speaker tales.
Yes, I love
it. But for me, having that right at this door, it reminds me all day, every day. I never even thought I'd get there. And so from there and everywhere. So Ready, Set, Go, Speak. Y'all need that in your life. I'm Precious Williams, crowdfounder and CEO. Perfect Pitches by Precious. You can find me on LinkedIn at Precious L. Williams, killer pitch master. On Twitter, I am at Perfect Pitch P. On Instagram, I'm at Perfect Pitches P. On Facebook, I'm at Perfect Pitch P. On YouTube, go under Perfect Pitches by Precious. And every Sunday, I go live on LinkedIn with the Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitchmaster Show. I thank you all so very much. Thank you so much, Pam, for having me.
Thank you so much. That was Precious L. Williams. So she is in Speakers Magazine. Also go to Speakers Magazine, download all the issues. You can download them for free. You can read them. You can share them. And the July issue is July. We'll be there shortly. Okay. So you'll have the weekend to read it. So with that, I thank you so much, Precious. And I will talk with you soon. God bless.
Thank you so much, Queen. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you all for joining us over there live at LinkedIn. Alrighty, bye-bye. And Facebook. And also YouTube. Alrighty, bye-bye.